Hey everybody, how's it going? It's good to see you, and I have another fragrance review for you, none other than Happyland Studio. Of course, that's been in my bag lately. And today I'm reviewing El GOODO, which is a fragrance, if you've kept up with me, that I've wanted to try for a long time, probably a year and a half whenever it came out. I never got around to it. I finally got it. I've been wearing it. Um, and I want to review it for you. So I was very excited for this one because to hearing people talk about it, it was a very boozy, fruity sort of scent, something fun. And that's not a style of fragrance that I wear often, that fun clubbing party kind of scent, that kind of ultra sweet kind of thing, boozy. That's not really what I normally wear, so I was looking for something interesting. And I know that I talk about Happyland Studio a lot on this on this channel. It's like what I talk about the most, but that's just what I've been wearing. That's what I like. Designer stuff hasn't been doing it for me lately. I've not been interested in that. So like real small indie houses that make original stuff has been my totally what I've been into. And Happyland is just, I don't know. I just get really excited when a new one comes out. It's like collecting Pokemon cards or something. Anyways, El GOODO. So first off, I got a little sample. Beautiful purple color, a really cool design. You know, it's always the little guy. You got that neon star because this fragrance was based off the song The Ballad of El GOODO by the band Big Star from the 70s. And I think that E.J. Wells, the perfumer and owner of this house, got a chance to talk to the last living member of the band and get his or her input on, the fragrance. So I'll read the notes to you just so you get an idea. It says brandy fruits, beeswax, oak moss, cedar, labdanum, and white musk. Okay. This fragrance is very strong. I mean, a lot of his fragrances are strong, but this to me is like a clubbing scent. And you already know how strong those tend to be. They're loud. You want to be heard, smelled when you're wearing them. This is sitting next to me with the cap on, and I can smell it right here. It's very strong. So when I first got this and sprayed it on myself, I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I was very surprised. It did not smell like what I thought it did. Kind of like Fudafafa, as I reviewed in my last video, where not a bad thing, it just didn't smell like what I was thinking in my head it would smell like. I was expecting very boozy because people did say in a lot of reviews this is a very boozy, whiskey sort of scent. I don't really get any booze from this scent almost at all. And I don't see a lot of people talk about tobacco. Some people do, but yeah, this is like a very tobacco dominant fragrance to my nose, and I don't even see it listed in the notes, but I certainly get that from this big time. So when you first spray it, you get grape, artificial grape, like candy grape. It smells like grape candy very strongly. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so that's good. But when you first spray it, like the first couple seconds, first minute, boom, just sickeningly sweet. Uh-oh, we got leakage. Uh-oh, that's not good. Sometimes these decants leak, and that's happening right now. So I'm going to smell like El GOODO for the rest of my life. I'm just going to hold my hands like this for the rest of the review so I don't touch anything. You can already see it on my hands. Sorry, I'm like going on a fucking tangent. My apologies. But I was almost like, whoa, this smells like a clubbing scent. You know what a clubbing scent smells like extremely sweet, loud. And I was like, why did he make a clubbing scent? That's not like E.J. Wells at all to do something so generic and designer. And then really like 45 seconds to a minute into wearing the fragrance, the tobacco came out. And I was like, oh, I get it. Of course, it's his take on a clubbing scent. It's his take on what clubs or bars would smell like back in the 70s. It's trying to evoke a bar, perhaps a band playing, a big star playing in a bar or something. It does give that vibe. So while I would classify this as like a clubbing, playful party scent, it's not like a mature scent. It's not like necessarily a work appropriate kind of scent. It's a very fun, playful club scent. It's his take on it. It's got more going on than your standard modern generic club loud sweet thing. It is very sweet though. I will tell you that. Like it's very sweet. So if you don't like sweet fragrances at all, you won't like this. I tend to not like scents that I like sweet fragrances, but ones that are more gourmand and rich. And this is like my least favorite style of fragrances, probably, but there's a lot going in here I like. The tobacco, first off. The tobacco doesn't, to me, smell like a pipe. It smells like a cigar, almost like Swisher Sweets or Black and Milds, like the grape flavor, like a cigar or something. It really does smell strongly of like, I'll just smell my hands. Yeah, like cigars or cigarellos or whatever. It's kind of I don't want to say dirty, but you're smelling grape and I guess a touch of booze, but it's not very strong for me. But that tobacco smell, that cigar smell, just makes me think of a bar. Not necessarily like a dingy dive bar, but like it's loud in there and there's neon lights on the wall from the 70s. It's a little run down. People are drinking and getting a little rowdy, smoking. That's the vibe that this gives me. I don't know why the grape necessarily reminds me of that. I'm not sure the grape kind of smell, what he was going for. I don't dislike it. I'm just curious how that ties in, but definitely the tobacco smells like cigars and stuff like that. And it's very unique. It's a very unique take on a clubbing scent. And again, I don't really like these, but like if I had to wear a clubbing scent, which I do once in a while, and even around very rarely, like almost only a couple times a year, I'll put on like 1 Million or Invictus or something around the house just for something fun. I really don't have a reason to wear those anymore because it's this. And I've mentioned that many times. One of my favorite things about this house, other than I love small businesses and the creativity and care put into these fragrances, it's they're very creative, and he really does have you covered on all bases. Like especially now with Shameless released, you have a summer freshie. Now you really do have like a clubbing party scent, and it's not going to be a generic thing. It's going to have a unique spin on it, a artisanal touch put into it, love and care and DNA that you associate with the house put into this style of clubbing scent. So for someone like me that really doesn't like those, this is what I'm going to wear. I have no reason to really try any. Well, I'll try, but wear like the 1 Million. I'm not going to really wear that anymore. This is what I'm going to reach for, because while it's not quite my style of fragrance, that tobacco smell is like kick ass. I mean, really, it is really good. So I will say it's very loud. So I do have a little bit of a problem with the loudness of this just because of my tastes. And it's similar to Home for the Holidays, where it smells fantastic. I love the smell of it. I would love to smell it on someone else, but on myself, after like an hour or so, it's not really going anywhere. You know the case with Happyland Studios. That smell is going to be strong, and it's going to be there for a couple hours before it starts to dry down. I would say like I get 3 hours of projection of this fragrance where I can just easily smell it on my neck, emanating like a little bubble for a good solid 3 hours, like no problem. If I just go look down, I can smell it. It's strong, and it's the same issue as Home for the Holidays, where it's nice, but it's like, okay, I'm done with that smell. It's kind of strong. It's a lot of a fragrance. I don't want to say complex. But it's just a very strong smell to be smelling over and over and over again. And I don't really get anosmic to these two scents. I just continually smell them. So I'm kind of like, all right, I guess I'm kind of done with this fragrance, but I have like another 12 hours to go with it. So that's like slightly my problem, but it's similar. It's the same as Home for the Holidays, and I don't want you to confuse the two. They don't smell the same. I'm just saying they have a similar vibe for me, where when it dries down, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. I mean, it's great at the top too, but again, it's like a little too much for me. Here's the dry down. The dry down, in my opinion, the grape smell, that candied, sticky grape smell, really goes away. I mean, it's still there. It's a sweet, perfumey sort of deal. But the tobacco becomes more of the star player here. It becomes smoother and less rugged, a little bit dirty as it is in the beginning, which I like. It's trying to portray this image that it does so well. But it smooths out, and beeswax is listed in here. To be honest, I don't know what that smells like. Some people said there's a waxy quality to this. I don't think I really get that, but I don't know. Labdanum, white musk, oak moss, and cedar. And I don't know if I could pick those out particularly, but it does create this slightly masculine but smooth, slightly earthy, slightly sweet perfume-like base that's almost a touch floral. And I don't think a lot of women, I mean, I don't know people's tastes, but I don't think a lot of women would like to wear this in the opening because of that strong tobacco smell. It smells kind of like a bar, not in a bad way, but it does, you know what I mean? But the dry down becomes more of what I would think is a nice women's perfume. Still masculine though because of the woods I can smell and a hint of tobacco, but it becomes still sweet, but much more, I guess, perfume-like in a diluted way and not as like candy-like. So I think a lot of women would love the dry down of this, but the dry down of this is, I'm gonna swear a lot. It's really, really good. It is very beautiful is the best way I could describe it. It's beautiful. It's funny because the opening is so playful and fun, but the dry down to me is very beautiful. I love the dry down of this. I think it smells fantastic. So it's not my favorite style of fragrance. It's not my favorite one he's made. But I would definitely have a full bottle of this because again, if I was going to go, I mean, I'm agoraphobic. It's not like I'm going clubbing, but I go to the bar once in a blue moon or go out to a party or something once in a blue moon. This is what I would wear. Totally. I would not even consider like the other designer candy sweet ones I've tried in the past. This would be totally what I would wear. And you'd smell unique doing it too. I mean, I guess I haven't smelled a ton of clubbing scents, but I don't know. This definitely has a uniqueness to it. Oh man, got a lot of leakage on this bottle now. It's like all over. Yeah, that happens with these little decants, unfortunately. This new round of ones I got, I didn't have any issues, but here we go. And it's getting all over the label, which will make the label peel off. So that sucks, but I got to wash my hands now because this stuff is strong. But yeah. If you like clubbing scents, you like loud, sweet fragrances, and you're into Happyland, you'll definitely like this, and I strongly recommend picking up a sample of this because it'll be right up your alley. If you're like me and you don't dislike the smell of these ultra sweet clubbing party scents, but they're not your favorite, I still suggest trying it because, like me, someone who really doesn't go for these, this is probably the one that is most up my alley. And I wouldn't be surprised if EJ himself doesn't really care for these scents. It's his take on it. So it's got enough uniqueness and unique DNA in it that it's something definitely worth checking out. I really enjoy it. And as I've said before, and again, this is just another scent from his house where now you got that covered, that's your clubbing party scent. I really dig that. I really like this. I think it's great. I think it's another thumbs up for me. Yeah, and I'll be at you next with, I just got some samples of Shameless and Shadowland. So I'll do those for you. I haven't gotten to them yet. I'm very excited to try Shameless and see his take on a summer freshie because they're not my favorite. And I know it's definitely not his favorite. That Happyland doesn't have really freshies. So I'm really interested to see that. And Shadowland, because I have no clue what that's going to smell like. I really don't have any idea what that's going to be like, so that'll be a huge surprise to me as to what that smells like. He is coming out with a flanker of Home for the Holidays, going back to, I mentioned that earlier in this review, called the Decaf Edition, that's not going to have that coffee note in it. And while I love the coffee note, I love coffee smells, and I think his coffee smells are the best I've ever tried. That's, again, a fragrance where it's a very sweet and rich fragrance. The coffee makes it very rich, and the spices and vanilla and maple make it very sweet. So when you take a very sweet fragrance and a very rich fragrance and put them together, like I said, at the opening, the first hour to 3 hours, it's a lot. It dries down to a beautiful scent, but it's a lot. So I think him taking the coffee out of that scent is going to make it a scent that's much more palatable personally for me, at least in the opening. So I'm very excited to try that. And I've said before that I think that that's like one of the best holiday scents I've smelled. And so I'm really thinking that's going to be a perfect flanker. If he were to make a flanker of this, I doubt he will. But if he were, what I would like to see in this fragrance is less of the sticky, sweet grape smell. I do like it, and I would want it there still. But tune back. The tobacco is perfect. but I would like more of a whiskey smell, like a real prominent sort of boozy note. I personally don't get it. Let me know if you get it. I know a lot of people get a strong whiskey vibe. I don't. I would like more whiskey and a little less grape, but it dries down into a great, beautiful scent. So that's El GOODO. I'm glad I tried it. I'm glad I have it. Eventually, I'll definitely get a full bottle of it for those rare occasions when I go party or whatever. Yeah, let me know what you've been up to. Hope to hear from you folks. Everyone have a great day. Let me know if you've tried this, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.